If you are hearing this, do not believe the reports. Do not believe the files. I was never a volunteer. I never signed up for this. They took me. They erased my name, my family, my entire life. And they gave me a number, specimen 12. The others before me are gone now. Some were burned, some were buried, and some met something far worse than death. If this recording cuts off suddenly, you will know they have found me again. They do not let their creations walk free. I remember the night they took me. I was walking home with my earbuds and thinking about nothing important. Then I saw the van. It was black with windows darker than the night. It slowed beside me without a sound, like a predator choosing its moment. Before I could run, I felt a sting in my neck, sharp and burning. My legs gave out and the world tilted sideways. The last thing I saw was the van door sliding open. Shadows reached out for me. Then everything went dark. When I woke up, the world smelled of chemicals. The ceiling buzzed with fluorescent lights. My wrists and ankles were locked in cold steel cuffs. A tube was down my throat, choking me and silencing me. Through the glass wall in front of me, figures moved. They wore white coats and masks. I could not see their faces, but I felt their eyes on me. One leaned close and spoke in a cold and clinical voice. Subject is awake. Prepare specimen 12. That was the moment I understood they were not going to ask me who I was. They were not going to treat me like a human being. To them, I was already gone. The days after that blurred together. Maybe it was weeks. There was no time down there. Needles slid into my veins. Cold hands pinned me to the table. Machines hummed around me. They pumped chemicals into me that burned like fire and froze me from the inside out. They whispered to each other, but they never spoke to me. And then I started to hear voices. At first, I thought I was losing my mind. Echoes and screams that I thought were in my head, but they were real. They came from the other chambers. That was when I saw them. To my left was specimen 9, a woman with hollow eyes and lips split from constant screaming. She pressed her hand against the glass and mouthed something I could not hear. Then I finally read her lips. Run. To my right was specimen 11. He did not look human anymore. His veins crawled black under pale skin. His mouth twitched open, and even through the glass I heard him whisper in a broken voice, "Do not fight it. The more you resist, the worse it gets." My stomach twisted. I realized I was not the first, and I would not be the last. Every night I heard them, screams from chambers being opened, the gurgle of liquid draining, and then silence. The silence was worse than the screams. The doctors took notes. I caught fragments of their words. Subject 8, failure terminated. Specimen 9, vocal strain, subject unstable. Specimen 11, rejecting serum, decomposed for tissue analysis. And then always, specimen 12, stable, continuing trial, stable. That word meant survival, but survival here did not feel like living. One night, everything changed. The alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the ceiling. I woke to the sound of glass shattering. My chamber door slid open, not because of them, but because of someone else. Specimen 7. I had never seen him before. His chamber must have been deeper in the row. Now he was free. His body moved in ways that were not human. His bones bent in unnatural angles. His veins glowed faintly. He ripped open the next chamber and pulled specimen 10 out into the hall. The scientists screamed orders and slammed heavy doors. But 7 was faster and stronger. He was not human anymore. That was when I realized what they were trying to make us into. Monsters. Weapons. Things that could not die. I pressed against the glass of my chamber. My heart pounded. For a moment, I thought he would free me too. His glowing empty eyes locked on mine. He tilted his head and smiled with jagged teeth. But instead of opening my door, he whispered one word through the glass. Wait. Then he disappeared. The next morning, they came for me. Gloved hands dragged me out of the chamber and strapped me onto a steel table. I fought, but the restraints held me down. One of the doctors leaned close. His mask was damp with sweat. Do not worry, specimen 12. You are our masterpiece. The others were mistakes, but you You are perfect. Perfect. They injected me with something thicker than blood. It burned through my veins like fire. My vision blurred. My bones felt like they were being crushed from the inside. I thrashed and begged for death, but they only smiled and wrote notes, watching me as I screamed. Then everything went black. When I woke again, I was not in the chamber. I was in a hallway, alone, no restraints, no doctors. My head pounded, but my body felt different, stronger, lighter. My veins pulsed with something that was not human. That was when I heard it, a whisper, not from outside, but inside my mind. Run. It was Specimen 9's voice, but she was gone. I had seen her chamber empty days ago. I stumbled down the hallway. The alarms blared again. Lights flickered. The building shook. I passed chambers filled with broken shapes pressing against the glass. Some of them called my number. 12, 12, 12. By the time I found the exit, my hands were covered in blood. I do not know if it was mine or theirs. I do not remember how I escaped. I do not remember reaching the surface. I only remember the air, cold and sharp. The stars above me for the first time in what felt like years. But I was not free. Not really. The voices never left. Specimen 7, Specimen 9, Specimen 11, all of them whispering in my mind. Sometimes they warn me, sometimes they laugh, sometimes they beg, and sometimes they control me. Do you understand now? I am not just a survivor. I am not just a victim. I am their collection, their weapon, their creation. I am Specimen 12. And the worst part is when I look in the mirror, I do not see myself anymore. I see all of them, and maybe that is what they wanted all along. If you hear this, do not come looking for me. Do not search the labs. Do not try to find out who they are, because the moment you dig too deep, they will find you too. And then you will wake up just like I did, strapped down, surrounded by white coats, a number stamped across your file, and maybe they will call you Specimen 13.